This video is for the arc length and sector area relationships notes. This is going to be lesson 8.8. So we're going to start with finding the arc length. All right, find the length of ZY, so that's the arc, if the area of this sector is 153 and 86 yards squared. Round all answers to the nearest whole number. So we're going to use that same relationship that we used to find arc length and area of a sector. So arc length over circumference equals measure of the central angle over 360, or sector area over circle area is the measure of the central angle over 360. So in this case, we've got the area. So what we need to find is the radius, right? So area of the piece over the area of the whole circle, which would be pi, and then times radius, which is what we're looking for, so we're going to make it our x squared. And then the measure of the central angle is 90, and then over 360. Okay, so we can cross multiply and divide. So we're going to do 153.86 times 360 and then divided by 90. So I'm cross multiplying and then I'm dividing here. And what I get, so that number that I'm getting, that is equal to pi times x squared. Okay, so let's see if I can get all of this to show up at one time. Let me scoot this way. Okay, so the 615.44 equals this whole piece, pi times x squared. So to find out what x is, I'm going to do this all in one step on the calculator so I don't have to type long, crazy decimals in. I'm going to divide by pi, so I'm going to divide my answer by pi. Okay, so now that number is equal to just x squared. So I'm going to square root it. So do the square root and then do control negative to put your answer in there. And then we can round it up. Our radius is going to be 14 inches. So now we can find the length of the arc using the ratio for the arc length. Okay, so length of the arc over circumference, so 2 times pi times the radius equals the measure of the central angle over 360. So again, we're going to cross multiply and then divide. So that first piece, that 2 times pi times 14, I'm going to stick that all in parentheses because that's one big chunk, times 90 divided by 360. And again, we're rounding to the nearest whole number. So that means ZY, that arc, is going to equal 22, ooh, that should be yards. Sorry, that should be yards, and that should be yards. Okay. All right. Find the length of AB. If the area, so they give us the area, we're rounding all of our answers. So this time we're finding the measure of the central angle. So we have the area again. We're going to use this. So the area over the area of what the entire circle would be. So pi, here's our radius. So we have the radius this time, equals, what we're looking for is this central angle. So x over 360. So we can cross multiply and divide. Okay, remember, you just go corner to corner. That's your first move in these. So 360 times 529.35 divided by, and again, I'm going to stick that whole area. This whole piece is going to get its own set of parentheses. And we're going to round to the nearest whole number. So that central angle is going to be 210 degrees. Now we can find the length of the arc now that we know the central angle. So again, we'll use this relationship. So we're looking for the arc over the circumference. So 2 times pi times 17 equals, we know the central angle over 360. So cross multiply, and divide. So 2 times pi times 210 divided by 360. And if we round this one, arc AB is going to be equal to 62, and this is in inches. Okay, so now, same idea here. We're going to do the area. This time they give us the arc measurement. We have to find the area. So if they give us the arc measurement, first thing we want to do is find the radius. So we're going to use this. We know this arc measurement is 18.32. What we don't know is the radius, so we don't know the circumference. So 2 pi r is the circumference, r is what we're looking for. Central angle is 150 over 360. So cross multiply and divide. So 18.32 times 360 divided by 150. Now, this amount is equal to 2 pi times x. So to figure out what x is, what the radius is, I need to divide that by 2 pi. That did not work. Okay, let's go back up to this one. Okay, divide that, put 2 pi in parentheses. I think that's gonna fix that. Okay, so see the difference? This time it divided by 2 and then multiplied by pi. I needed it to divide by the entire amount. So the radius is gonna be 7, and then this is gonna be inches. All right, find the area. So that's this ratio. So I don't know the area of the sector, but now I can find the area of the whole circle that it's a part of. Equals the central angle over 360. We're going to cross multiply and divide. So again, this whole chunk is going to get its own set of parentheses. And if we round, the area of that sector is going to be 64 inches squared. Okay, find the area of the sector. So this time we again have the arc, but we've got the radius. So we're looking for the central angle. So the measure of the arc over the circumference, so 2 pi radius, equals the measure of the central angle, that's what we're looking for, over 360. So we're going to cross multiply and divide. And again, this whole piece, I'm going to give it its own set of parentheses. Oh, I got something different last time I did this. Oh, I see what I did. 38.38. There we go. They should all come out where you're rounding a 9 up. So the central angle is 200 degrees. Now we find the area of the circle, or of the sector. So the area of the sector is what we're looking for over the area of the circle. So pi times the radius squared equals the central angle over 360. So we cross multiply and divide. So pi times 11 squared equals 200 divided by, times 200, sorry, divided by 360. And the area of this circle is 211. This is yards squared. So that's it for this set of notes.